Are you thinking about going for these? These are the new Legacy Lifter 3s from Reebok. In this video, I'm going to try the Legacy Lifter 3s out for myself and share some of my thoughts on the shoe. What's the fit like? How do they perform? Not forgetting this pump feature that they've added. And overall, do I think they're worth an investment? Stay where you are. So these are the long-awaited Legacy Lifter 3s from Reebok. The newest thing you'll notice is the pump feature. If you're not sure about what this is, it's basically a way of giving you an even more snug fit in the shoe after you've laced them up and strapped them up. You could call it a throwback from the Reebok archives. The first Reebok pumps came out in 1989 in a pair of basketball shoes. And I remember in the 90s asking my parents for a pair of Shaq Attacks and not getting them. It was a really cool feature, and you could argue whether it was actually effective, and it sort of came out and then just went away. And now it's back. Now, before I get into them, I'm going to answer the question of, are the Legacy Lifter 3s true to size? Now, I would say that yes, they are true to size. Order your regular size in these, and also bear in mind that these shoes do take a bit of breaking in. So if they feel a bit rigid at the beginning, that will definitely change over time. So how different are the Legacy Lifter 3s from the 2s? There really isn't that much different in the Legacy Lifter 3 from the Legacy Lifter 2. You get the same materials in the upper, the lacing and the eyelets are pretty much the same, and the design is the same too. The narrowness of the shoe overall feels the same too. This is actually something that I had hoped that Reebok played with, because I found the 2s to be very tight and narrow in the forefoot. But I do get it, some people do prefer a more narrow shoe, but me personally, I prefer a bit more toe space to splay my toes out and improve my balance, especially in a shoe that I'm going to be doing squats in. Things like this is why I think people are moving more towards barefoot or minimalist shoes for working out. Narrow shoes just aren't effective for everyone, and I completely get it. If you're interested, we have an article about minimalist shoes on the main website. Back to the Legacy Lifters, they're not very different from the 2 at all, and for many, including myself, that was very disappointing. Reebok are making no secret about the pump being the main star of the show here. Now the question is, how did the pump actually feel when I was using the Legacy Lifter 3s? So I just put them on and I worked out as I normally do, and I squatted with and without using the pump. They performed well as a lifter, just like the previous pair did, but the fact of the matter is this: after you've laced them up and then you've put the strap on them, I really didn't feel that I needed any extra snugness. And even so, after I pressed the pump a few times and then did my next set of squats, I didn't really feel that much difference. I actually was a bit disappointed, if I'm honest. In my mind, I thought that the pump compartment would go through more areas of the shoe and maybe make me feel even more stable in this shoe. Maybe the sides and the ankle would get some pump too, but the air compartment is literally only in the tongue of the shoe. It left me wondering to myself, what's actually the point of this extra addition, apart from the obvious nostalgia trip? So the next question is, are the Legacy Lifter 3s worth the upgrade? If you're someone who has the Legacy Lifter 2s already, or you see the Legacy Lifter 2s on a special offer, you might be wondering to yourself whether you should go for the Legacy Lifter 3. Having tried both of these shoes, in my honest opinion, if you have the Legacy Lifter 2s already, keep them. Give them a hug and be thankful that you have them. If you can get the Legacy Lifter 2s at a discount, which is going to be very likely right now as this is the new model, I would honestly grab the discounted Legacy Lifter 2s. So to sum up, I do like the pump feature. I think it only works as a fun feature though. The nostalgia vibe I got when I first heard about these shoes up until the point when they arrived was there. However, once I put them on and pumped them up to see how effective they were, I was quite disappointed. I think if Reebok had released a pump version of the Legacy Lifter 2 as a special edition, I would have been cool with the added feature. But because they've done this on the full release, it feels kind of gimmicky. The pump feature edition doesn't really do enough for me to jump for joy about it. If it's about giving people a better fit to give a feeling of securing the foot better, an extra strap like the Legacy Lifter 1 had would have made more sense as a consideration. I don't think the pump enhances performance enough, and it just gives me the idea that this was just thrown in for the wrong reasons. It's my belief, and I stand by it sometimes, that brands get bored and add features that nobody really asked for or needed. Sometimes they get away with it and sometimes they don't, and in this instance they don't. Let me know what you think of these new Reebok Legacy Lifters with the pump. Will you be going for them? Let me know in the comments below. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.